Hi everybody, welcome. And today with us we've got Grant, who's a Masters CrossFitter. And how are you today, Grant?
I'm good. I'm tired because I've just worked out.
How was that workout?
It was a hard workout for me.
What was it? What was hard about it?
It's just stuff I haven't really done before, and I found that hard.
Yeah, what sort of stuff?
It was a lot of shoulder work, a lot of work upside down, which is something I'm not really good at my age, but I gave it a go anyway. And then halfway through I had to change to another routine because it was just too hard.
So what is your age?
66.
Right, great. So when did you start CrossFit?
I started about 18 months ago. I got introduced to it by my younger daughter because she's done it for a few years, and she said come to a class in Sydney. So we went to a class and I got there and I thought, this is not for me, because all these six packs, all these big muncho guys, I thought, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was enough. We walked away, went home. And then I retired, and then I did a year of doing nothing. And I had a pretty physical life before retirement in my job. And then my daughter pushed me more. She said, you got to do something. She said, I'll find you a CrossFit. And I said, all right, eh? And she found the one at North Brother. And we came here, it was an over 50s. And we walked in, a bit hesitant at first, as you probably are when you go to a new place. Mm-hmm. And we walked in, everyone come up and introduced themselves. And I thought, this is good. Like no little groups. Yeah. Anyway, we found that encouraging. And so we went in, and we went the next week, and we just started doing it. And we enjoyed it because I was back to doing something physical, which is something I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's how we almost carried on from there.
Right, great. So what did you, obviously you said that you really enjoyed that kind of community or camaraderie and welcoming when you came. What was it about the physical nature of it that you enjoyed most?
More, it's as you get older, you'll find most elderly, or when you get into a certain age, all you can talk about is your damn health and your aches and pains. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I'd rather not be talking about that, I'd rather do something about it. Mm-hmm. So it was about we just decided, let's do it sort of thing. Yeah.
So what sort of movements were you doing back then when you first started, do you remember?
Oh, they were quite easy. Mm-hmm. I found them easy. Some of the other, what are they called, other people, participants, whatever, they were just doing the same thing week after week, and I was, well, that's not really building your muscles up. They were just lifting the same weight, same thing, and I said, no, I've got to increase it. So I started increasing it, and I found it's just, I needed a bit more. I needed more as I got further and further into it. Yeah. That class over a few months just evaporated because some of the other participants, they weren't dedicated to it. You find if you enjoy it, you'll want to do it more. Mm-hmm. It's just something that grows on you. I don't know what it was. Just get interested in your health in that general aspect. Yeah. And then we got offered to go to another class, which was where we are now, and we are way down the bottom. But you use the younger people, because it's mostly young people where we are, as a guide or an incentive to push yourself to get better. Yeah, awesome. And that's what I found. That's why I like this class now. Even though I can't do what a 25 or a 35 or a 45 can do, but what I do is for myself, and I try and push myself for a better health. Yeah.
So what do you think, you said, you were talking about the incentive and the drive and stuff that kept you coming back. Was there anything kind of specific about the way CrossFit does it compared to other things you've tried?
I never really, this is the first, because you see on TV all these gym guys, like I said before, they're all muncho guys, and this is more of a family thing. You become part of the group, and they all look after you. You all help each other. Yeah. Whereas you go to a gym, you're sort of like by yourself. Yeah. Because I spoke to someone just yesterday. She was 65, and I asked her what her workout was, and she said, "I just go around and do what I want." And I thought, well, I said, do you get puffed? He said, no, not really. And I thought, what's the point of it? You really want to benefit from the exercises you're doing. I used to go for walks before we started this, and I was just walking around the same damn streets. Even it was a nice walk, but I thought, this is boring. And I needed something, and that's when that's why I enjoyed it.
So do you think the variability that comes with CrossFit makes it interesting?
Yeah, it does, because it changes, and you are given something to do. It's not your choice. You are given tasks which you enjoy. Well, they set the challenge.
Yeah, and you mentioned today the challenge of you were doing some stuff upside down and lots of shoulder work, like handstands and things like that. Have you got some particular goals at the moment with the CrossFit, like movements or aspirations, things you'd like to work on?
Which I suppose it's generally fitness and strength, but when you get old, you don't see yourself like being like up there with the best. You know what I mean? It's more of a self thing, I think. You want to improve yourself.
So what you're saying, it's not, your goal's not sort of competitive as much as it is around your well-being and your health.
Yeah, it's more about that than being look at me sort of stuff.
Yeah. How do you see it? Do you see it as a sustainable thing? Something you can just keep doing?
I hope so. Because you do become prone to injuries as we get older. Our bones weaken, our muscles weaken, but that's why we do it. So we do increase things like that, and you begin to eat healthier. As part of it.
Yeah. So you kind of change your diet with it as well. What other effects does it have on your lifestyle, do you think? Any other kind of?
No, you find things easier.
Okay.
You find things easier to do. It's just doing things, just simple things, smaller tasks, carrying things. Just simple stuff like that. It's quite easy.
You mentioned injuries as you get older. Have you had to deal with any injuries and manage them while you're still doing CrossFit?
While you're doing CrossFit and you do have an injury, you do tell your instructor, your coach, and she will work around that so you don't aggravate the injury even further. And you nurture it, and then once it comes right, away you go again.
Right.
And everyone's consciously aware of it.
Yeah. So you're focused, as you said, on that kind of longevity in doing it and maintaining your health and persisting.
Like today, I had to pull back because I do have a shoulder injury, and I had to pull back, and I was given another task which didn't put pressure on that shoulder.
Great. Awesome. You said, I can't do everything that the 25-year-olds do. But I sort of modify the movements, or I do some other movements. How does that feel?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that.
Yep. And what do you sort of feel in terms of your improvement? How you mentioned you went to try it. You had a year off because you kind of thought it was a little bit daunting, and then you went to another gym here at North Brother that you kind of really enjoyed. Where have you gone over that 18 months? What sort of achievements have you seen?
Oh, a lot. So I started off with, like, you could say a 5 kilo, dumbbell. Now I'm up to like a 10 kilo. I can handle that. I try to go sometimes to 12 and a half. It's just building the strength of my muscles as I move along.
Are you using barbells as well?
Yes, I do that. I can lift. I'm starting to lift weights above my head, which seems hard. It seems hard.
With your shoulder, I imagine.
But you do get there because there are various types of bars you can lift, which helps.
Great. Awesome. Now, you've got a competition coming up.
I have.
You're first.
It is, yes.
How's that feel?
It's scary because you'll probably be the eldest one there, but that doesn't matter too much, I don't suppose. I told my daughter I'm going into a competition, and I said, why don't you come up and join us? And she goes, I said, it's friendly, and she goes, friendly? Like, inverted bracket. I said, yeah, well, it's only as friendly as you want to make it, it's fun.
It's all about the attitude.
Yeah, and because she's they are good. My daughter and my son-in-law are quite good at it. but they don't enter the competitions. And I asked them why not, and I said it's like training for a sport but never playing the game. What's the point? She said, I said, you're building up your weights, but why? You could just sit there with the same weight and just do the repetition every week.
Right.
To me, the competitions are the peak of what you're doing, testing yourself.
Okay, that's cool. Can you tell me more about that? Because that's a really cool and interesting kind of approach to it. So you see the competition as a way of measuring how you've been improving, and
because you will probably perform in front of the audience.
Yeah,
you will probably perform better because you want to, because you'll have all your box here cheering you on, and you're like, oh, I've got extra bit of strength.
Sure.
Yeah, but maybe not, but maybe.
Does having that, I guess, that end point of a competition give you more motivation to train in a different way, or does it change anything for you?
No, I wouldn't say it motivates me more because then I'm just driving for that. No, that's just something to do and enjoy, I think, more than a driving force.
Yeah, to be part of that community that you mentioned too, I guess. Yeah. So, have you thought beyond doing that first competition? Do you want to see how that feels, or have you thought of doing anything like the Opens or anything like that CrossFit bring around every year?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever. I'll be in that league because it's. I don't know. So to see how you go over time, how you improve. Because I've only been doing it like 18 months. And
amazing.
You see some people have been doing it for years.
For sure.
Yeah. And they've got the technique down better than what I have.
So you mentioned technique just then, and you mentioned sort of the weights, and you've sort of been patient with getting the weights up over time by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your kind of approach to technique versus sort of going, trying to go heavy.
Well, when I first started, I was constantly told you're muscling up, which means I'm just using my muscles and not technique. Now I'm trying to more focus on the technique, which does make it easier, which is so important, I believe. It makes it easier when you learn to do it correctly.
Okay, cool. All right, that's awesome. Really inspirational stuff. What I thought we might just finish on is a few single answer questions. Favorite CrossFit move?
Well, there's a lot of them, really. I could do my worst.
That's the next question, Grant. Start with the best. What's your favourite?
I like rowing.
Okay.
I like rowing. Yeah.
What's the worst?
The bar overhead. Yeah.
Any particular push press or clean and jerk or?
Push press is hard. You get it up there and then you've got to push press once, twice, 3 times. It's just pushing that same weight up. Does become hard.
Yeah.
Anything above my head, I just seem to find hard.
Okay.
At this stage, anyway.
Okay. What do you like? Do you like short workouts or longer workouts? What would you prefer?
I like the warm up, and then sometimes we do the in between. But I do enjoy a good hard workout for like only 20 minutes. So when you're finished, you actually, you've worked out.
Okay, cool.
You haven't had a little picnic there or a chat.
Yep. Excellent. Go long, go hard.
Yeah. It's only for like 20 minutes, but it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's your attitude to mobility and stretching and those sorts of things?
Well, normally at the end of a class, I've got no energy left for that, but it is part of it. Yeah.
Do you do any at home?
No, I'm lazy. Getting off the lounge, sitting on the lounge. It's about as good
So
as
use
it
the
gets.
sofa stretch.
Yeah. Even my wife's agreeing.
Awesome. All right, Grant. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And it's good to have you along with part of the North Brother community.